Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Together We Battle podcast. I am here with my co-host, Nancy Woodworth Hill. Welcome back.
Hey, good to be here.
And she and I have worked on creating a 14-week series that will run through the holiday season. And this series is called Roots of Growth. This will be short spiritual practices for your everyday life. So while it's going to help you get through the holiday season, it is also going to help you beyond. So Nancy, if you would share with everybody the focus of this and any additional information that you would like to give for them to understand as we get started.
Okay, so I'll tell you where I'm coming from. I'm a trained spiritual director. So you could think of it as spiritual companion, someone who walks with people through that aspect of their life. Just to give a small definition, let's say I'm concerned with a person's soul. The soul is the piece of us that deals with the non-material things of living. So I will often use the word God, but I understand that there are a lot of baggage goes with that word. So translate that word how you'd like, as the divine mystery, as true being, true nature, whatever works for you. And so what we're going to do is to have a series of practices that open us up to that deep, deep reality. And they're short practices. So the challenge is to listen to them and try them. And if it's not working for you, that's okay, because not every person engages the same practice and has similar results, which is okay. It's a matter of exploring. And that's what we're going to be doing, exploring several short practices. So thanks, Jessica, for giving me the opportunity.
Look forward to our conversations, and I really look forward to not just the conversation within this series, but also the short tangible practices that we're going to give people that they can do even through the holiday season when it's probably the most wild time for everybody. So again,
time that you really need to engage in practice.
Exactly. And then you copy and paste it in the rest of your life as needed. So let's get started. Everybody, welcome to Roots of Growth. And Nancy, if you would take it away and share with everybody what our first focus is, and we can go from there.
Yeah, we're going to look at a practice that I call the ocean of God's love. And if water is scary for you, substitute in your head the word like meadow or some other place. The important point is it needs to have an expanse to it that necessarily goes like over the horizon. And we'll talk about that later. So I want to give you a story of a time where I engaged this practice with another person. So I went to visit someone who was in the psychiatric unit of a hospital. And I gently asked them what it was that they needed. And they said that they had lost the connection to God's presence. So I did a small, you'd call it a guided meditation with them, engaging this image, the ocean of God's love. So we are surrounded by the presence of the divine every second of our lives. But like a radio, the question is, are we tuned in? So these small practices are about being tuned into that presence. This person was in so much pain, they'd forgotten how to do this. So I invited them to take a comfortable position, to receive their breath, to find in their body some place where they could relax. That you can keep your eyes opened or closed, doesn't matter, or what's called soft eyes, so kind of half open, half closed. So whatever's comfortable. And then I invited this individual to imagine an ocean of God's love that is created out of God's unconditional love for us. And as I mentioned, some individuals, not this person, but other people I've used this with, actually have to translate it to a meadow of God's love, because oceans are scary. Whatever works for you. So you can set the temperature, you can set the depth of the water, you can set how the water's moving, or how much wind there is. You just build that in your imagination. And then I invited him to place himself in this ocean, to feel it around him, to remind that God welcomes anyone who is open to seeking God, the divine, our true nature. And I guided through some visualization to experience God's love surrounding them, upholding them, healing them. So whatever it is one needs, that's what this ocean will also contain. And this is really a meditative practice of presence and of staying in the moment. So that's one use of this practice.
I could picture myself just kind of flowing in the water, just laying and letting the waves kind of move me relaxed and with the sun on my face.
Yeah, exactly. And you can put your loved ones in there with you if you'd like. Friends, family. You can put in there individuals who are deceased. We miss their quirks, right? And so you can engage those quirks of the person around you, their care, their concern for you. Those go in too, if you'd like. Just depends on what you need in the moment, what you want to be open to.
And share with everybody then with that particular person, how did that help them to move forward, or did it?
Oh, absolutely. For about 3 years later, every time this individual saw me, he'd look at me and say, Ocean of Love. And so I knew that it meant quite a bit. Literally, figured literally, when I first engaged him, he could not look me in the eye. And when we were finished, he could look me in the eye. I could face to face, so I could see there was a difference. I did a few other things with him as well. He actually ended up telling me that I did more for him in that visit than 4 weeks with the psychiatrists and therapists and all of that. But it was just connecting him with something deeper. There's another way that this can be used as well. And that is to, when you're having trouble with someone, when someone has hurt you or upset you or something is in a relationship, you can actually choose to place this person in the ocean of God's love too. So you start with it, putting yourself in, and then you can place this person wherever you'd like. You can place them in front of you if you want to keep an eye on them. You can place them to the side of you, left or right, front, behind. You can even place them way over the horizon. And the beauty of this is you do not need to hold them in your care or concern, because you know that the divine is holding that person in their own care. You don't have to hold that person anymore. You don't have to love that hurtful person in the moment. God's love is sufficient for all. So I've done that with a handful of people that the hurt is so big that I just throw them over the horizon, knowing that what is good for them will happen and it doesn't have to be anywhere near me.
I think that's really important to hear for a lot of people, because as not just women, but people in general, you have that feeling of, okay, they've hurt me, or they've frustrated me, or I'm really struggling with them. I need to pull them closer because I need to fix them. When truly it's a matter of, hey, I'm going to throw you over the horizon. That makes me feel really good. You're irritating me. Bye.
Bathing in the love that you're bathing in.
Yes. Yes. So you've essentially, the way I'm hearing it is, you've kind of softened the edges around it, and you're opening up and allowing the grace and love of God to step in and
Exactly.
take care of you. You focus on you because that's what you need to focus on, and accept that love, and that person needs to do the same thing, which, when you think of it that way, at least for me, is it feels like the edges of the hurt have softened.
That's the idea.
Okay.
I do not have to carry that person or that hurt. I can bring it, but to that ocean or meadow of God's love, but I do not have to solve it, fix it, carry it in the moment. There may be something that I discern later on that I need to apologize for, or I need to shift the relationship, the level of trust. Often trust is broken in situations like this. So I just need to know where I can trust, where I can't, and rebuild a relationship based on that, or not. depending. I'm not going to say we must. But what I do know is that person is also in the ocean of God's love, and I don't have to do anything because God is.
Oh, that's very powerful.
Mhm.
You've said a lot of things that were very powerful, but truly it's bringing you back to that awareness that it's not my responsibility to fix others.
Mhm.
It's just my responsibility to make sure I'm responding appropriately, rebuilding boundaries if necessary. What does
Yeah.
that look like? Sometimes we do need to do that. We have to build a better boundary for ourselves in understanding that it's not ours to carry.
Mhm.
It's something they need to focus on. So giving yourself that space or giving yourself that they would say in sports 24 to 48-hour rule before you talk to a coach or something if you're frustrated, you know? It truly.
That's truly the difference between a reaction and a response. So a
Mhm.
response, you just have to stop and get that. But that'll be another one of our practices later on.
Exactly. So, just quickly, if you could recap, because we'll have a lot of people listening to this, and of course, we'll provide additional information as we go through this series. But just quickly, could you recap again, if someone is listening, what they need to do?
Concrete steps. So literally, you need to prepare by coming to the moment of here and now. The easiest way to do that is to just attend to your breath. So take 3 to 5 slow, deep breaths and make sure that you've got the space to do that in. If children need taken care of, do it. And then retreat to the bathroom or bedroom or whatever space one needs, right? And then envision this ocean of God's love, a meadow of God's love, forest of God's love, whatever image works for you. I like the ocean because I can put myself in the water and I can have it at the perfect temperature. And then just place yourself in this ocean and just be in that space. Feel it. If you have a little bit of movement of water, the right temperature, whether what kind of weather it is, is it sunny, cloudy? So envision this space or feel this space. Not everyone can envision. So I need to sense this space. Some people require to hear it. So let yourself hear that space and be in it. And then allow God's presence, which you don't have to do anything but open yourself to. Allow God's presence to surround and uphold and heal you, to bring you to wholeness. And if you need, you can place any individuals, the ones who love you, place them where you would want them to be, close, arm's length, in front, behind, whatever works for you. Or you could play individuals that you're currently having some challenge with, and you can place them where they belong according to your current understanding. And that can actually include over the horizon, which is why I invite you to have a big space. And then just remain there for a time, soaking in God's love. Just remain there. If you're having trouble, remain there, come back to your breath and return to that image in your mind. And if you're finished, you can simply say, thank you. That's all you need to say. Thank you. And hopefully you're a bit calmer, a bit more centered, a bit more open, and will be able to continue with your day. It can be as short as, 3-4 minutes or longer, depending on what time you have and how long you want to stay in that space. And the thing is, you can bring that space with you. You can bring that sense of presence into your next step.
Which is beautiful because everybody's on the run and on the go all the time, it seems, anymore. Again, the point of these practices, truly, for you and I to do these short weekly practices, is to give people a practice that they can take with them as needed.
Right.
Try this today, reach out to us, leave us comments, engage with the social media, give us some feedback, and make sure to share this with a friend if you feel like this was helpful for you. We would absolutely love to hear from everybody as we go through these weekly practices. Just a quick teaser for episode 2.
Sure.
Next week, we will be focusing on breath prayer. So, Nancy, can you give a really short teaser on what that's going to be about?
Sure. So this is ancient practice. We go back in the Christian tradition to the 400s, I believe. And it may be even earlier. It's just a matter of having a written record of it. And it's also called the prayer of the heart. So it's about deepening your prayer from your head to your heart in a very, very short little bit that can be picked up and laid down and picked up again throughout the day. So we'll talk about how we create breath prayer.
Yay!
Well, everyone, thank you for joining us for this week's Roots of Growth. We hope today's practice gave you a pause, a breath, a gentle rooting in what truly matters. Don't forget to try it this week and share your experience on social media. You can use hashtag Roots of Growth and it will keep it all collected so that we can interact with everybody as we go through this series. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you.